basically what we understand is that the judge will begin procedures at about 8:30 this morning. We don't expect the defense to necessarily call any witnesses. The state may produce what is known as a victim impact report on the nature of the sexual violence on Ina Bonnet and how it has affected her deeply and emotionally, trying to really paint a picture for this court of just how much damage Johan Kotze did to his former wife. Of course, we understand at this point, Dan, that lawyers for the defense have been asked to prepare appeals on their behalf, and there really is a sense from the defense team that they want to get the sentencing done as quickly as possible so they can prepare their arguments for leave to appeal not only the sentences that may be imposed, but indeed the convictions themselves. And that will be for Johan Kotze and all three of his co-accused. Well, because of the minimum sentences legislation and because of these men have been convicted of gang rape, which is an offence under that particular legislation, they will face a mandatory life sentence unless they can convince the court that there are compelling reasons justifying the imposition of a lesser sentence. Now, given that none of these men are first offenders, they do face an uphill battle in terms of convincing the court that is indeed the case. And I think the fact that this crime went on, this torture session went on for 2 hours and resulted in the death of a teenager will be a very, very aggravating factors that the state will argue simply mandates the judge to give these accused a life sentence, that he cannot afford to give them anything less than the maximum time in jail. Well, literally, as soon as the sentence is passed, the lawyers for the defense can get up and say, we intend to file a leave to appeal application. They will then bring a leave to appeal application and argument before this judge, who then will refuse it or grant it. They do have an array of other options if they are refused, and can actually petition the Supreme Court of Appeal if they feel that they have strong grounds to do so. However, at this stage, the weight of the evidence against particularly Johan Kotze makes it unlikely that he'll be able to conduct any kind of successful appeal. If a successful appeal will be conducted, I think it will very likely come from particularly Andries Sithole in terms of the murder conviction that he received, and perhaps two of his co-accused in terms of their conviction for the gang rape. But of course, that at this point is just mere speculation. We'll have to see how these events play out over the next few days. Well, we have spoken to Ina Bonnet, and she said she wasn't coming to court today because, as she understood it, sentencing would be imposed on Wednesday. Of course, the judge will be well aware that particularly Conrad Bonnet's father, of course the deceased boy's father, will want to be in court, and I think he will make take certain measures to ensure that the family members of Conrad Bonnet and Ina Bonnet are in court. So most likely we should see the sentencing happening tomorrow morning.
News that moves. eNCA.com.